Hello, it's Paul again. Today we're 23 days past the stroke date. Interesting day today. It's a couple of little successes and one or two little setbacks over the last couple of days. Well, over the last couple of days I've spent some time in a chair in the mornings, but unfortunately it's put a lot of strain on my back because there was little lumbar support in the chair. And the result has been that I've had terrible lower backache, which yesterday made rehab physio rather difficult. I managed to stand a few times, but the pains in my leg due to the back problem were quite intense. This morning I managed to stand up and make a coffee and stand quite well actually. The left knee is quite difficult to keep straight, but we managed it. And then later in the afternoon, back in the gym, the physios had me standing from a seated position to an upright position, and then lowering myself back down safely. And I managed to do that, pushing my leg to the limit really. And I managed to stand and sit probably about 20 times until my blood pressure crept up in excess of 150 systolic. And once the blood pressure crept up, we thought it was time to call it a day. But I'm glad to say that I'm now able to rise from a seated position to a standing position and stand for 3 or 4 minutes unaided. So I'm quite happy with that. The physios and a lady, I can't remember what her title is, took my trainers away yesterday, and they put a little wedge in the right hand foot of the trainer to rise the leg a little, to make it easier to swing my left leg forward. The left leg being the one that's been affected with the stroke. And also a little steel foot plate to go in the bottom of the shoe with a support coming up the back of the leg, which will then velcro around the shin. The idea being that I can rise a little higher with the right leg and swing the left leg through without the toes drooping down, and then continuing where we left off from a couple of days ago with the steps forward. So there is progress. It's a little slower than I would like, but there is progress, so I'm delighted with that. I've used the TENS machine again on my hand for 2 or 3 sessions today, but unfortunately I've not been able to replicate the response from the other day. I've not managed to manually close or open my hand. It's all been done with the TENS machine, but I'm helping to reduce the spasticity in the hand, and I am now able to lift my left arm again to behind my head with the aid of the good arm to stretch it and stop the tendon shrinking. Under my left arm, I was getting a little bit of a skin breakdown because of sweat under the left arm and the lack of use and not being able to lift it. So I've managed to dry that out, and we're putting a 1% antibacterial cream under the arm to stop any problems developing. So there we are. You'll probably notice I'm a little bit hairless today. My mother and brother visited the hospital this evening, or the rehab centre, and my brother Mark was kind enough to shave my head, so I look like a big egg again now. And after he did that, I managed to have a really good shave, and I feel human again. I've still got pins and needles down my face on this side. I have to show you with my tongue because I'm holding the telephone with my other hand and my dodgy hand won't move. So It's down that side of my face. I've got some pins and needles. And I tend to find I get that more after I've exerted myself a little bit. So, a couple of little victories today. Still got a touch of backache, but I'm going to make sure I don't get that in the morning. I'm going to keep the time in the chair to a minimum. Probably when I go and get my toast and coffee in the morning, I'll keep that session short. And I'm glad to say that one of the gents who was in the bay opposite me at the Hallamshire, Roy, is making really good progress as well. I sat and had a coffee and some toast with him this morning, and he's in brilliant spirits, and that really boosted me up this morning to see that. So mostly good news today, and let's hope that the next video is also good news. Take care, and don't do what I do.